Good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Dumb TV. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for brand new content. This your boy Goldmouth Shorty. Let me get straight down to business. Today we finna talk about Death Row Records and how they ran the rap game in the 90s and how Suge Knight was worth a net worth $100 million. And he ended up going to prison doing 9 years and he got shot in the head. Tupac died. He ended up losing all his masters, and he ended up wind up in jail with 28 years. But before we can go into all that, we gotta make sure we hit that subscribe button, man. We gotta hit that post notification button, man, for brand new content. This your boy Goldmouth Shorty, and I just gonna always keep it real. But let me go ahead and break everything down, man. Back in the days, Suge Knight used to be a football player. And he got injured. So he just started being security. And back in them days, if you was from the West Coast, you used to listen to a lot of Scarface, Houston music, Texas music. And it was this dude coming out of Dallas, man. His name was DOC. And DOC was so popular, he had his own security. When he used to come to Cali, he used to get held down. And Suge was one of his bodyguards, because Suge Knight used to bodyguard for Bobby Brown. So you already know how this going, man. If he already was a bodyguard for Bobby Brown, and you know how Bobby Brown career went, and then he went and he started securing for DOC. You feel me? So what ended up happening, man, make a long story short, he ended up getting up under Eazy-E, and then he just caught Eazy-E them when he was vulnerable, and then he snatched them boys up from up under Eazy-E Wayne. That was Dr. J, Miss Michelle, DOC, and whoever else from Ruthless that decided to go. So they started Death Row Records, and they put out the Chronicle, and they was dissing, you know what I mean? Because back in them days, you know what I mean, it was all about having fun, dissing people, and telling people I'm on top. You know what I mean? Because all this back in the days, all the money came from bullying people. You know what I mean? Suge was one of the biggest bullies around. And then he ain't had no money yet, so he went and took Vanilla Ice money because he got another artist. His name was Chocolate. Chocolate, he was from Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Because at first they was using Dallas niggas to infiltrate. Because, you know what I mean, Suge Knight was trying to get Big Mike, 3-2, and he was trying to get Bushwick. So if you ever see Bushwick Bill in that first video when they was dissing Eazy-E, because Suge was trying to muscle. And then they was trying to use Harry-O to fund the money to bring the dudes down there. But for some reason, they wasn't able to muscle Big Mike them. You know what I mean? Because Big Mike them was so smooth. Big Mike was agreeing to everything they was saying because they didn't really know they was getting muscle. But as soon as they got back to Texas, Jay Prince stopped letting them go out there. Because, you know what I mean, they was supposed to break them boys off some money, and I guess Jay Prince got some money, or he didn't ever get the money from Harry-O, or something went down with that transaction of that money, or it was only a deposit payment for these artists. And you know what I mean, Harry-O and Suge became enemies amongst the deal. Because you know what I'm saying, Harry-O got locked up right away. Suge didn't pay nothing, didn't send no money to his wife or nothing. He just kept it and kept the game going. and just launched the careers of Dr. Dre and RBX and DOC and Dog Pound and all them cats. You know what I mean? They rented out a mansion and then they just started uh, doing music and, you know what I mean, living good and doing the album release parties. You know what I mean? That's just how it was. And then that's how they broke into the game. And they went to Vanilla Ice and they actually roughed them up, made them sign a check, and then they stole the rights to the song. You know what I mean? So boom, that's all that happened. The check was like $7 million. You know what I mean? When Vanilla Ice say he was hung off a balcony, yeah, they did do that. You know what I mean? And I think Mob James was there. You know what I mean? That's the real truth. But Mob James didn't even know what was going on because Mob James couldn't even see that far to what, or think that far ahead that what Suge was doing. So once all this happened, you know what I mean, Suge had the game ran with the iron fist. Because, you know what I'm saying, he just muscled everybody. Easy E, he got Easy E for the artists. He got Harry-O for the money. He got Vanilla Ice for some, writing credits. And you know what I mean? He was ready to go. So he sent his boys out to Florida to the Jack the Rapper when they were swinging after they did the beef and the diss song with Uncle Luke. And, they got beat up at that situation, at that convention. And then Suge learned, hey, man, we got to be strapped, man. We got to come deep no matter what we go through, wherever we at. We got to be ready. We got to be prepared. Because Suge them always bullied everybody on the West Coast, but they never thought that, going down to Florida, that something happened like that with some real cats. Because, they had them put down up on Jay Prince, ruffled a couple fellas. With Jay Prince, he really wasn't going for it, but at the same time, he kind of was. He was kind of scared, but he was there, dealing with the dangerous dude. But at the same time, Uncle Luke beat them boys up, so everybody already knew, hey man, it's time to start tightening up. So now Suge got everybody. You know what I mean? Cause that dude, BJ Al Pacino, he got beat up out there in Florida. You know what I mean? But Suge just came back, man. He came back even stronger. You feel me? Cause he got the whole awards rowdy and body. You know what I mean? This came after. There they had and got beat up in Florida. Now Suge was out there at the awards calling out rappers from the East Coast, trying to, bully. You know what I mean? So what ended up happening was, because he knew he was a football player, he knew he had height, so he knew these mostly little guys wasn't trained or, lifting no weights. So that's what his advantage was. So he just started going through the industry, man, with top-notch gang members. And they just orchestrating their own beatdowns and hits for hires. Because you know what I'm saying? Uh, the Crips was there deep from Long Beach, but Suge had to push them niggas out the way and they start putting in the work and start beating niggas up. And that's why if you ever see Tupac, he was always running with the blood. But he was a blood by default because just where he was from in Cali. You know what I mean? Everything made sense. But man, bruh, they was beating ass, man. And I don't know what that nigga Mob James talking about, because if you from the Bay Area, automatically your blood up in prison, man. So I don't know why the fuck he talking all that shit. But yeah, Suge ended up beating a lot of them niggas, man. You know what I mean? He ended up putting hands on one of the Jodeci members. You feel me? Devontae. You know what I mean? He scared DJ Quick up. You know what I mean? Then he beat up Swoop G. You know what I'm saying? He beat up uh Badass. He was just beating up artists, catching them on the one way, just beating them, man. So they was like, man, you deserve everything that happened to you, dog. Why you beating up everybody, man? Oh, this nigga, he ain't do right on the contract. Bring that nigga ass into the red room, and they just beat him, catch him somewhere and just jump him and beat him. Running down on Snoop Dogg at all his events, beating up people in the crowds. You know what I mean? K9 was there, Wack 100 was there. All these other niggas they was joining. You know what I mean? This in that Crooked Outlet era now. Suge still getting people beat up, man. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Then they say he poisoned Harry-O in a joint. You know what I mean? He beat that nigga ass from the East Coast, the producer, and K Solo left him, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, shit crazy. You know what I mean? All these niggas know something happened with Peter Pablo too. Cause Peter Pablo always talk about Suge in the bad light. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Y'all think he deserved to be in jail after beating up all them people I told y'all about, making people uh piss on themselves, make people drink pee, motherfucking breaking people ribs, shooting at people, shooting people's pinky toes off. Yeah, man. Suge was an animal. He pulled the gun on RBX. Nate Dogg had to stay scrapping that bitch. You know what I mean? He ain't fuck off when he went in that bitch. You know some shit about to go down. You know what I'm saying? Little C style, them niggas, and Big C style, them niggas was scrapped up to the max. I think he tried a little half dead, but yeah, man, shit was crazy back in them days, man. But that's enough on this situation. Peace of mind.